Hello, everybody. Welcome to Telli Talks, where we talk about life, growth, relationships, and all things in between. I have a very special guest with me today, my brother, my friend, family business today. And with
Big
Malik
family business.
Scott, we are cheersing to what we cheersing to.
Forever striving and nothing but success and love.
I heard that.
Peace, sis.
Amen.
Love, baby.
How does that taste?
Good.
Okay. So for the
Good.
people that
Sweet.
don't know your journey, tell us how you got to where you are today. You could start from as early as your path, your career, wherever you
I'm
want
going
to
to start from 11 years old.
Tell me about it.
My brother is about 3-4 years younger than me. He was born with a Blount disease. A Blount disease is when you're bow-legged but to the maximum capacity. So our bones go parallel. His go exactly like this. So that means he's walking like this. So coming up in the streets of North Philadelphia, kids would tease him, and I was a protector. So I would fight kids and, hurt kids. And my uncle seen it one day and said, I think you need to go to the boxing gym. That was at the age of 11, turning 12. And from 12 years old, I was introduced to someone that basically saved my life, Fred Jenkins. He took me on as a student of his, and I never looked back, and the rest is history. But the beginning of my journey starts at ABC Gym in North Philadelphia on 26th and Master Street.
And from Philly to LA, how was that transition? When did you move? Why did you move?
At the time that I moved to California, Philadelphia was the murder capital. I got with a promoter, may he rest in peace, Dan Goosen. He believed in my talent, but he also knew where I was staying at. So he was like, Malik, I think it's best for you to live out here. I moved out here. The first thing I noticed about California, it is extremely liberated, and I'm a liberated type of person. So I went with the vibe. I went with the energy of it. It matched mine. Even though I was a kid from North Philadelphia, I'm very big on liberation for everyone. So California is very liberated. Certain sections is not as liberated, but spots like San Fernando Valley, San Francisco is extremely liberated. And these are the places that I be a lot. So I've been enjoying it ever since. I've been out here since 2014 or something like that almost. So
Oh, wow.
yeah, it's been some time.
So your boxing career started in Philly.
In Philadelphia, absolutely.
And what made you transition from like just going in the boxing gym and having fun with it to being a professional boxer?
I always looked at it as this is going to be my ticket and this is going to be my passion to get me to travel, because I always wanted to open mind, but I knew my mind would stay closed if I stayed stagnated in the streets of North Philadelphia, even not the streets, just staying in one place.
Right.
So what I did, I let boxing be my tool, and I let boxing be my drive to allow me to travel, experience new things, meet new people, hear different languages, be turned on by different music, different dress codes, everything. So all my traveling and all my decision making from Philadelphia to LA to all the other travels that I have done, just not in this country, all over the world, it has made me into the individual I am today. And I always consider myself a very liberated, open-minded individual, and I'm fine with that.
Absolutely. And from 11 to how old you are now,
Yeah.
you've been a student of the game, and the technicalities of boxing and just studying film and all
Yeah.
of that. Like, what made you so in tune with like the love for the sport?
It was my lack for love of actual school. So my love that I should have had for school, I had for boxing. So we'll say in math, 1 + 1 is 2. In boxing, 2 jabs, a right hand follow. So I always was doing the math and boxing the way one would do in school. I hated school.
I never knew that you saw it like that. Like,
Yeah.
where it's like you're a student to boxing, but you kind of like correlate it in a way where it's like basic things that you learn in school, like
Absolutely.
mathematics and stuff like that.
And subtraction. It comes down to good decision making. If I want to hit you here, I'm going to look there. If I want to hit you there, I'm going to look here. And I look at that like how someone will look at algebra, or someone will look at math, or someone will look at science. Because boxing is a science. It's a you could say it's a slat of Picasso work concerning the art, the noble art aspect of it.
Right.
And I just put the math and the art and the science and the balance all together and just try to make up the best game plans for whoever it is we're facing.
Was it hard to like transition street fighting into professional boxing?
Not for me, because I was the type of street fighter that didn't like to, but I did it, like I said, to protect.
Right.
But if I didn't have to street fight, I wouldn't. Like, you know what I mean? I've never been a street punk. And that came from the good teaching and the integrity from my grandmother, my mother, and Fred Jenkins. They refused to let me to be a street punk, but what they did do was they said, we're going to take everything you want to do aggressively and you're going to put it into this gym.
Right.
And I'll never forget, it was extremely hard for me the first year, but Fred Jenkins told me, if you continue to listen to me, son, you'll be beating guys up in here that's getting the best of you now, and I'm going to make you a national champion. Less than a year, I was #1 in the country as an amateur.
That's amazing. Like to transition, move, and be technical and know what you're doing.
Yes.
In a different setting outside of not wanting to just do it, but actually doing it for a cause and a reason and getting money for it.
Absolutely. And I enjoy being a son that my mother could say, baby, I need this taken care of, and I could say no problem, and that comes from my hard work. I enjoy my son saying, Pop, I need a new car, and I'm able to do it from my hard work. My daughter calling me saying, Daddy, I'm able to do it.
It just means so much more.
It means so much more.
When it's that, we talk about this all the time,
Yeah.
and I just feel like when you do things out of the kindness of your heart without like ill will or intention or motive behind it, it's a good feeling to have inside.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? It's irreplaceable. It's to just like, oh, I'm doing this because I want something out of it. You know, it's like you can't imitate or mask or duplicate that feeling of like just doing something out of the kindness of your heart.
Big time. And out of all emotions and all feelings, I know giving is my favorite one. Especially
110%.
like that makes me feel on top of the world. And sometimes that's a good thing and a bad thing, because in my case, sometimes you can give too much.
Absolutely.
But I look at it like every time I do it, it's almost like I'm doing it for the person, I'm doing it for the cause, but I'm also doing it for myself.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I mean? The blessings always come back. Even if they don't come back on me, they'll come back on my son, my daughter, KK, my goddaughter.
Yeah.
So as long as these people are getting the blessings, whether if it's me or not, I'm fine with that.
And you're giving, like you said. How do you feel about transitioning from like being a professional boxer to being a trainer and like teaching what you know and what you've instilled in yourself to other people?
That right there, that transition was a very easy one for me, because Fred Jenkins, coming up as a kid, he always trained us as kids how to not just train ourselves, but to help each other and train each other in film study and things like that. So I was already heading in that direction, but one day me and one of my best friends was like a brother to me. We lost a fight in Las Vegas to a guy named Tyson Fury. Literally about 4 hours after we lost that fight, Deontay Wilder called me up and told me that he believed in me more than he believed in anyone else to be his trainer. And I got the job, and I never looked back since. He's actually made me a better trainer, a better person, a better scientist with boxing. And I was at a A+ with film study, and I don't know what grade I'm at now. And
I feel like that relationship is vice versa. Like you guys have made each other better people in general.
Absolutely.
Not just better boxers, not just better students of the game, but just people in general.
Absolutely.
Whether that's fatherhood, whether that's personal, whether that's relationship, like as a whole. And I've seen both of you guys grow, and it's just beautiful to see your friendship, your relationship, your business partnership, your trainer boxer relationship just blossom into what it is today.
Absolutely.
And it's unmatched, and I love it for the both of you guys.
Absolutely.
And I know he's happy with you by his side, and I know you're happy with him by his side, and I know you guys both want the best for each other, and it's just beautiful to see.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah,
Absolutely,
I love it. I love it for you guys. Okay, so family. Let's talk about family and relationships.
Yeah.
I know you have a beautiful relationship with your son, who's now into boxing, who just won his first Golden Gloves. Congratulations, Malik.
He won in the semifinals, and this is actually his first tournament. He only had 2 fights, and then in the finals, he fought a kid that was a very, we'll say advanced compared to little Malik's experience, and Malik handled it very well. He lost a very close decision in the semifinals, but the way he handled it and the integrity that he showed and the effort, the gallant effort that he put forward, that's the big win to me.
Right.
Because I look at that like life imitates art, and sometimes art imitates life. So if my son is handling himself well in defeat, I'm fine.
You've done
with
your
that.
job.
Absolutely.
And I feel like that's the best part of being a parent is knowing that you've done everything that you could possibly do, and they're good and they're well, and it's like that there's no problem with them.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I enjoy just watching him try hard and want something so much, and then leave from a fight, then go to work, then from work go to school, then from school spend times with his brothers. Like, I love to see that. He has no idle time, and he put himself in a position so it could be like that. So I'm proud of him just for being a champion in life.
Yeah.
Really, boxing is the tool for that. But he's a champion in life, and I tell him all the time.
No, I just think like he's grown so much from when I first met him.
Yeah.
Even like his look has changed, and
Absolutely.
he just went from like a little boy to like
Yeah.
this, young man, and I'm just
Do
seeing
you
him
remember
grow.
when he had like the like me or Deontay, we may not know nothing about the cool haircuts that kids is wearing. So he came to you and was like, tell my dad this is cool. You say, yeah, you look good, but I say he's cutting it off tomorrow. When he came to you with it cut off the next day, you looked at me and said, why'd you make him do that?
Oh man, and you know what's crazy? Like my son too. Like I wanted that low cut for my son too. I wanted that that TI clean skin fade. 'Cause,
Yeah.
I mean, teenagers, they don't maintain
Oh, no.
their hair. And then it's up to you to maintain. And it's like they get to a point where they are becoming their self.
Right.
And it's like that control that you have as a parent
Yeah.
is slowly like fading
going away,
away.
absolutely.
And it's like when that happens, to me, it's like, damn, my baby's leaving me. You
Yes.
know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah,
And
yeah,
it's
yeah.
a hard pill to swallow.
Yeah.
But it's also a beautiful pill because they're becoming who they are as a man, and
Right.
it's just like even with my son, like
Yeah.
he's with his dad now, and I
Right.
just feel like that was a hard pill for me to swallow
At
because
first.
at first,
Uh-huh.
but now I feel like he's becoming who he needs to become instead of who I want him to become.
And I really believe that was a hard pill for you to swallow, because you're not on the outside looking in at you, sis. So we're all looking at how you always had Karan with you at
Right.
fights, bringing him in, getting him that. So when it was time for him to just take a little step, because that's a little step he did with his
Right.
father, because he's safe. You was like, oh, hold on, this is.
Oh, it was
but
like-
you've been doing a good job this whole
Yeah,
time.
I like to even think about him not like being in my sight or to know if what's going on with him or what he's doing. It's a tender feeling inside of me.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
it makes
yeah.
me emotional because it's like that's my baby.
And it
That's
should,
that's
absolutely.
like my firstborn, and it's like
Yeah.
I told my son when I was little, I stopped living for myself and now I'm living for you and
Right.
like your betterment. Like we live to make our lives better for our kids'
And I've
lives to
watched
be
you do
better
that,
than
absolutely.
that.
Yeah, yeah,
And I
yeah.
just feel that like now I can't physically see like how he's developing his life without
Yeah.
me in his life physically, but like it's like I'm there, but I'm not right in front of him there.
Like
We're
you've
like
always
there from a
been.
distance.
Like you've always
Right.
been. Right.
So it's
this
like
is
as a
new
parent,
territory for you.
yes,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
uncomfortable, but like adaptable.
Right.
Where it's like how as parents, I genuinely think that parenthood and like mentoring takes a village because every child, every person is different.
Right.
Like I feel like I can call my dad or I could call you or,
Right.
it's just not easy to raise children because of society or
Oh,
how
it's a
they
bunch- it's
might
a bunch
be
you have to deal
or
with, yes.
like even
Yeah.
like, you have a daughter and just like having a girl and it's like even with KK, like how do you go about a situation? How would you go about a situation if your daughter was like, hey dad, I like this guy, and you're like, that's my baby,
Yeah, and I talk to myself about stuff like that too. And I think the older and older I get, the more that I'm aware that it's the inevitable and I have to be prepared for it. And the only thing I could do, protect her as much as I can. Like, what I mean? I don't want to be like, you could almost say like, Pop Earl is one of my guys I talk to, and he kind of helped me a lot with me and my son's relationship, just the distance and how to deal with it and things like
Right.
that. So as far as having a daughter, that's something that we talked about before too. You just have to let it be, but protect when it's time for you to protect your
Right.
daughter. But that trying to hold on, that don't do nothing but give you headache and gray hairs
Oh
early.
yes,
You know what I
and
mean?
it's so hard because like as a woman
Yeah.
and knowing that you don't like I never want to disappoint my father, and I'm sure your daughter doesn't ever want to disappoint you.
Right.
And it's like how do you approach, especially someone that's a fighter that can kick my man's ass or you
Right.
know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like how do you approach your dad as a child and just
Let them
growing
know that-
into your womanism?
Right. That's the tough part, and that's tough on them. So I think the preparation for that is always looking your kids in the eyes and let them know, you could come to me and talk to me about anything. I'm aware that I snap sometimes, but I always want the best for you. I love you, babe. Please.
Right.
Because what you don't want to happen is secrets being kept from you.
Right.
And secrets build up to something big.
Right.
So the inevitable is the inevitable. That's going to happen. Love is going to happen for her the same way it's happened for me and the same way it's happened for you. And you just got to be prepared for it, but have an open heart for it at the same time as a father.
Absolutely. It's literally the toughest thing that, like, you know, just finding out your kids are sexually active or like just like that moment of like, damn, this is real. Like I'm a mom of a teenager that's doing things that they don't need to be doing right now. You know,
what's
it's like,
crazy is I believe when KK gets older into teenage years, I think she's your best friend now, but I could see y'all being extremely close when she become a teenager, because how y'all are now is like I watch y'all sometimes interact with each other. It's like you're interacting with like one of your assistants or one of your friends. So I can only imagine when she gets to a level of really understanding you, y'all gonna be like this even more.
oh, I can't wait.
Yeah, I'm
and I just feel
anticipating
like
to see it.
it's crazy because I see so much of her dad in her. And I'm like, I always wonder, like, when she gets to the point of when she's 13, 14, will she be more, you know, like her dad and
the
change curve of like being a teenager, or like, okay, KK, this might not be the right move, and it's like, all right, is this what's going to cause us to like, you know, because now it's like she's 5 and she wants to cuddle and my hugs are the best, and it's like,
she loves you so much.
Oh my God, I adore spending time with her, and it's like, you know, as a teenager, that shift of like wanting to be yourself kicks in.
Big time.
So it's like when, you know, I was close to my son when he was little too, but it's like now he's a teenager. It's like, Mom, drop me off around the corner from the school because I don't want nobody to see him. I'm like, but why? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, you get that shift.
I really can't see. I look at you and KK almost like literally like you see one, you see the other. So it's almost like that's interesting, and that I'm anticipating to see how that bloomed. Because like I really got y'all being stuck together like this, even through ups and downs and, you know, back and forth. Like, you know, I really just see y'all really getting along even more the older and older she get.
And I feel like too, like the type of person that I am, I don't want to hold, like if I'm mad at her or something, like I don't want to hold that grudge, because it's like, that's my child, you know, that's me at the end of the day. So I'm like, it's like I'm holding a grudge to myself, you know, and it's like, why would I do that when it's like, this is my baby? You know, like you never know what could happen or when.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, me too. I cannot wait. So, all right, we're gonna go back to Deontay and use relationship and seeing him grow as a fighter from a trainer's perspective. How do you view that, see that? And not just him, but just like all fighters, and just transitioning from like going from one coach to you.
I truly believe that, before I was Deontay Wilder's head trainer, I was his strategist in a way you could say. We always went over game plans together. He's always kept me extremely close when it comes to, you can say, I would say things that most fighters are like have big egos about when it comes to opponent styles and stuff like that. Me and Deontay has been very open with strategies against guys that he's fighting, even against guys that I was fighting at times. So when the thing happened with Fury and he hired me on, the only thing to me that really changed was the hands-on part, as far as me technically working with him every single day. He gone from 3 or 4 guys as a pad guy to literally just me taking all the pad work. All of this, in my opinion, made me see his skill set and his pedigree and his IQ for boxing even more, because the most people look at Deontay as a knockout artist. I look at him as almost a purely complete fighter when he wants to be. When he wants to take on and say, okay, I don't want to get hit today, I want to do a Larry Holmes type of defensive style, responsibility, holding myself accountable. He doesn't get hit. It's all about Deontay, what he wants to do. If he wants to not lose another fight ever again and wants to listen the way that he does and stay disciplined and have tons of humility, he'll never lose another fight, like ever. He's the most dynamic fighter in the history of this sport. And I'm not coming from a standpoint of someone that, you know, just came on 5-10 years ago. Since I've been 12 years old, I've never seen nobody dynamic. And that means he can knock you out with either hand from either side from all kind of awkward angles.
Yeah, and I just genuinely like knowing him as a person, and I don't feel like he genuinely knows his strength or his power that he possesses naturally, not something that he was taught to possess or to have, you know? Like,
and when I call him that, sis, when I call him, you can say the most dynamic, You have knockout artists and you have serious knockout artists. Deontay he can kill you type of knockout.
Yeah.
So one would say, well, what's the difference between him and Mike Tyson, hypothetically? Look at the opponent stackment, then look at Deontay opponent stackment, then look at Mike Tyson opponent stackment. The things that I've seen Deontay Wilder do to opponents when he hits them, I've never seen Mike do that to guys. And he's done this to elite guys. I'm talking about, how do you shut down Luis
Way
Ortiz
bigger than him.
like that? Like, he just shut down all his faculties with one shot. Sometimes the frustration, the only thing that I think I like to get through to him, and I want to get through to him, is everything that you say you are, I hope you know you really are that.
Right.
Because you are that.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I believe he's at a point on his second half of his career right now that all he has to do is be himself, and he'll be 2-time heavyweight champion of the world. Like, I have no doubt about it. In due time.
Absolutely. And I feel like, you fought Deontay too. So how was that transition from fighting Deontay to
And
training, sparring him, fighting him, just that change of dynamic? And how was that with your relationship? Like, I know it's like you guys were friends before you guys fought, brothers even, and just fighting and just turning all that off after you guys fight. Like, I wouldn't be able to fight someone and be like, all right, we cool now. Like, dap it up and we brothers
Especially
again.
after they knock you out.
Yeah, like, it's like, how?
I get it, but the only thing that you could say that put that increment in there was that we're in the business.
Right.
Deontay has a family, I have a family. When the fight was presented, we talked to each other about it. We said, all right, man, we're going to do this for one night and just get it done. After it was over, we don't go back on that agreement like we handled our business, that was it. No, we continue to have humility. We fought, we got it out the way, life goes on. And that's just how, even in everyday life, me and Deontay carry ourselves with things like that. All right, got that out the way, next. But with us, a strong relationship bonded from that.
Right.
Since I met the dude, he's always wanted nothing but the best for me and vice versa. Always put himself on the line for me, and everything. So it's like, the only thing is, with me training Deontay, I could see me kind of getting extremely, extremely close and extremely, extremely passionate with other fighters that I train like that, because I don't go to fight parties for one reason. I've never go to fight parties because I'm too emotional and too soft when it comes to other fighters. I don't know how to sit at a fight party and watch this person right here that don't know a left hook from a fish hook talk about, oh man, this dude's a bum. I don't even know the fighter, but you ain't gonna call boxers bums in front of me.
Absolutely.
Now, being to the fact I know that about myself, I don't put myself in those positions to defend that.
That's kind of like my thing, though. Like, I'm emotional as is.
Yeah.
So if I was to fight someone, right? So especially someone that I care about, like you fight with your siblings all the time and you patch it up. I guess that's kind of like how you guys look at it as professionals. But it's like, if I fight someone and I wouldn't be able to fight you if I don't like you. Right. I mean, if I like you, I'd be like, we're cool. Like, why can't we just talk this out? Like, how are we just? Why would we fight? Like, why, for what? Like, I get it. It's a business, but it's almost
it's the business aspect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now that you fought and it's done with, and it's like, okay, now I know how hard this man hits, skin to skin, or now I know.
You got to realize I'm someone that any type of ounce glove that one could punch with, I felt Deontay Wilder's power in. I know how I feel to box him in 20-ounce glove, how I feel to box him in 10-ounce gloves. I know, like, almost everything about him. I know. We're so in sync when I'm training him that I could literally just say, it's right there. He know what I'm saying. Right. I could literally say, look down. He know what I mean. I could give him a look and let him know how I feel about the work, and he'll say, I already know, bro.
And that's what makes it so beautiful. Absolutely. And I just feel like that connection and that bond is unmatched. Because you guys were friends, fought, brothers, all that prior to, like, the end goal. Like, I feel like you guys have both are in the process of mastering your craft together, and you guys have mastered it separately, but like together it's like growing, and I could see it growing, and it's just a beautiful thing to see.
And he really, really believes in me to the high, to the most. So,
and I feel vice versa. Like, you believe in him to that
majorly.
And it's like you've trained and sparred with pretty much everyone that he's sparred and trained with too.
Or
yourself.
may go on a fight or fought.
Yes, absolutely. And it's just like even the people that he's fought, you trained
True
or
story.
fought or seen them spar. So
True
it's just
story.
so beautiful to see that dynamic, and you see his power and compare it to other people's power, and it just knowing
It's not even close.
it's crazy to see. Like,
It's not even close. I have an experience. I went to Dubai and I was boxing Alexander Usyk, and in that camp I was training or holding pads for all the big heavyweights that Usyk was boxing. And from that camp, I went directly to Vegas and started camp with Deontay for Hellenia's fight. The first day he hit the pads, I'm like, it's something just different with that power. I've just left 6, 7 heavyweights that's knocking me back, knocking me back. I went to Vegas to start camp with Deontay, and it's just different. I've never felt nothing like it. Like never. And 20-ounce gloves, and I'm talking about with 20-ounce gloves on. The things I've seen him do to people with 20-ounce gloves on is just insane.
And he's not like, he's not going in to spar and taking it lightly on
No.
He doesn't play at all. And I know that from him. Like you'll watch him spar, and it's like you hear him hit from a distance, and you know that impact of that hit is forceful.
That's why when he tell guys, like, your job is to get me because I'm for sure trying to get you.
Right.
That's in sparring. That's in the fight. He take no prisoners. And someone like me, that's like you could say. I tell my son this all the time. If I hit a guy, boom, and I see he's out and gone, I look at the ref. Ref, get him, because I don't want. If Deontay Wilder hits a guy and he's gone, he's get ready to go.
Oh yeah,
you're out
he's
of there.
not.
No.
He's not
about to flatline me.
Yeah,
he takes no prisoners, and I love that.
And I honestly feel like mentally, when he's there, you have to physically take him out of there.
Physically, yes.
Like you have to physically, like, all right, Deontay,
it's referees that you can actually see. Like he's carrying a referee on his back that's trying to pull him off of Stavern in the second fight. He's gone.
Yeah. Do you feel like it's like when the bell rings, and not just for Deontay, but for yourself too, because you're a fighter, like you just go into that mode of like, all right, I'm in here and it's tunnel vision until this guy's out?
Yeah, well, from a puncher standpoint, you got to realize you got people that you have fighters that will say, like Pernell Sweet Pea Whitaker, who was a real slick guy. He goes into a slick, I like to call like a slick Miles Davis type of jazz pizzazz type of feel when he's getting ready to fight. Deontay Wilder, who's a pure puncher, he goes into a zone that you can say a Mike Tyson or Ernie Shavers go into. It's a take no prisoners. I'm trying to get you because I know you're trying to get me. If he dies, he dies. That type of thing.
Right.
Depending on your style, or even depending on the kind of person you are inside, that's the zone you go into when you get ready to fight. So using myself as an example, I always love to outbox guys, make them miss, counterpunch them, spin them around, pat them on the back. That's the zone I'm going into.
Right.
I can't switch that zone and then when fight night come, I say, all right, I'm going to kill. That's not who I am.
Right.
Deontay Wilder, that's who he is.
Right.
So he goes into that zone as a real killer. And that's the zone that he be in. And a lot of times, like, it'd be real bad for guys because I always tell people Deontay is trying to punch through you, not at you.
Oh, 110%. And as a fighter and as a trainer, how do you train or yourself kind of how to tune that mentality on and off?
That comes in my opinion, the preparation aspect. Because one thing I love about the last camp that we had was Deontay's whole purpose was it was structured, it was systemized, it was an order. He said, bro, we're doing great floor work. I need to take it into sparring. The minute we got in sparring, I was like, bro, you're doing everything in sparring now. He was like, bro, I have to do it in the fight. We have to do this in the fight. He went right in the fight and did everything we worked on. I put a video up, the way we mapped it out, the way we had him on the back foot, the way we had him doing directional feints, and he did it. Deontay Wilder is dangerous, but a systemized Deontay Wilder is the most dangerous man in the world. It's like those other guys are not even close. When he systematically want to set you up and know he have to look here to do that and look there to do that and cut the ring off and post you good. These guys not even close. When he thinks, he makes it worse for the other guys.
Yeah, I think like more so when you're not fighting, right? So a lot of people, I guess, stereotype and look at boxers as like this aggressive individual, right? But it's like when they're not fighting, or when you're not fighting, or when Deontay's not fighting, or whoever boxer is not fighting, how do you tune out that aggression of like
On everyday life?
Yeah, on an everyday life.
Right. That right there is a struggle. That right there is a struggle because it's like a switch. It's almost like I'm about to fight, so my switch for violence is going to come on. Okay, now someone irritate me. I go into that same irritation of switch. So that right there, my honest opinion says it comes with therapy. It comes with good communication. It comes with listening. It comes with having an open mind. It comes with not being a know-it-all.
Right.
And not having people treat you as a know-it-all. The last thing I want is people walking on eggshells around me because I won't get the truth out of them.
Absolutely.
So I think that comes from a lot of inner work that us as fighters, us as football players, whoever it is that we all need to work on. It's really ourselves and not having mirror issues. And mirror issues is not good for you because you refuse to look at everything besides yourself, which is in the mirror. So I think that's like, you could say, partial identity crisis of things that could also be fixed though by guys, if they want to fix it.
And I feel like too, that's like you said, if they want to fix it, and it's like boxing comes with a lot of ego because you're kicking ass for a living, you know what I'm saying? So it's like people, I feel like a lot of boxers are more so feared than respected. And I feel like there's a difference,
Huge difference.
And it's like you want people to respect you, not fear you because of what you do for your job.
Right.
And I feel like how does that take place in a mentality of a boxer of wanting to be respected but knowing that they're feared?
The ego have to be put to the side all the way. You can't how would I put this, you can't get off on people fearing you like you have to get off on people respecting you. You have to like that. You get what I'm saying? You have to like
absolutely.
That. You have to like
but I
that.
feel like people do get off on that. Like, know, like, oh, they're scared of me, so they're not about to try me.
Right. When I actually don't even want to be around people that's scared of me. Even if the truth hurt, I'm willing to accept it, especially coming from people that I know genuinely cares about me.
Right.
Now, people that don't care about me or, they deal with me for a specific cause or a specific agenda, that's totally different. But when people genuinely care about you and they telling you it's something you're doing wrong, God forbid, like they telling you this, and then someone else over here said it before. Then someone else told you the same problem. Then this person over here saying, I hate to tell you, but you're the problem. Now, I can face that, me personally, like because that's how I do my chart of me getting better as a champion and becoming of life. Everybody can't accept that. Like, you know what I mean? I'm not a know-it-all. I don't want to be a know-it-all. I'm not perfect. I don't even like perfection. Anything that comes across too good to be true, it is too good to be true to me. I enjoy being a work in progress, and I want it to be to the point that by the time I figure everything out, I'm ready to go and be going out of this world. I'm always a student. Even though I'm a teacher and I'm a head coach, I'm still a student because me and Deontay, for example, we go back and forth on strategy. I don't tell Deontay what to do. I say, bro, this right here works best for us unless you're seeing something else. If you're seeing something else, tell me what it is.
Right.
I don't agree with that. We have to go with this. This is working more.
It's your approach, too, on learning how to deal with people and their characteristics and going about it in a way where it's adaptable to them.
Right. Absolutely. Yes. Yeah.
That still works for you.
That still works for me. It's funny you say that because it's a big fight coming up. I'm not going to say no names, but I talked to the head trainer of one of the guys that's fighting. And the guy in the head trainer, he told me, he's like, Malik, this guy right here, he like to do his own thing. And, I go with it because even his own thing is things that I agree with. So it just so that it's beneficial that it's things that I agree with. Sometimes depending on who you're working with, for me, for example, I know I could, like when I'm getting ready to go at Deontay about certain things, I'm already expecting a rebuttal.
Right.
It depends on what it's about.
I'm already knowing.
I'm already knowing because I'm like, I gotta tell bro this, but I know he probably gonna say that. But once I show him on the film, he's gonna get it. All you gotta do concerning Deontay, if you show it to him, why it worked and why it wouldn't, he's all for it. But he can't think that you're guessing something or you're telling him something that you tell everyone else. He doesn't work like that. He's about a man of example. Show me so I can believe it. And based on the fact that I'm a man about film study, it just worked. That's why we go like this. Because he's telling me what he think and I'm telling him what I know from what we both see. And that's film.
Absolutely. So almost like showing him and proving to him like this works unless you see something else.
Right. And if you see something else, please tell me. Because
it's more of an ask than a tell.
Yeah, big time. Yeah, because you gave me this job as a head coach. but I'm also in the back of my mind still a student. And the fact that you're one of my students, your job is to also to make me better as a coach, as I
Right.
am doing you as a student. We're in this thing together. Like, you know what I mean? This is
Absolutely.
not a macho, egotistical job I got. I'm enjoying it. I'm forever indebted for Deontay for trusting and believing in me. And he got me to a level where I'll never turn back now.
I love that for both of you guys. And personal.
Yeah, please.
So you, like you said, you're a very liberated individual,
Yeah.
and you are
Open-minded.
a open-minded
Yeah.
individual. So when it
Yeah.
comes to relationships,
Yeah.
how do you conduct yourself as a man into your personal relationship?
First thing is honesty. I have to live. I like to sleep comfortable. I like to put my pajamas on with my slippers. I like to be catered to at times. The only way I can do those things like that is knowing that I'm not lying to no one.
Right.
So it's almost like this is funny. It's almost like I love telling the truth or being honest because it gets me my way. I really don't sleep right knowing, you know, I'm telling this person one thing, telling this person another, and then I'm telling this person. That's just me. It doesn't work for
Right.
me. I can't deal with that pressure. I like everyone to know what they're doing and why they're doing and who they're doing with. So now when you're in front of me, we're going to have a great time because you're
Right.
not thinking about nothing that I may be doing behind your back. No, I'm telling you.
Right.
So when I say I'm extremely liberated, it just really means that I have a peace of mind that, in my opinion, most people don't have in today's time concerning relationship, and that's because most people are scared of honesty, and they're scared of honesty when it comes to people that they love and people that love them. I'm not on the fence when it comes to someone not wanting to tell a stranger all their personal business. I'm all the way
Right.
with that.
Absolutely.
But no, if you're my lady, or I want you to be my lady, or if I have plans for you to be my lady, no, I need you to know this because then I could trust you when I get you close because I could say this person know everything I'm with.
And they are allowed to have a choice on
An
if they
option.
want to, absolutely, if they
Yeah.
want to deal with whatever it is
Whatever
that
it is that may come with
you present. Absolutely.
Right. And vice versa. I'm not in charge of nobody. Like, you know what I mean? I'm not in this thing, in this, way of life or living in this world thinking I can do this and, I could do that. But this person better not do it. I have my limits and I have my drawers with everything. I'm not holier than thou. I'm not better than anybody. Anything that I do, I feel as though if someone else wants to do, then they have the right to do. I'm just all about my freedom and my
Right.
liberation. If someone loves me and they love me all the way they do, then we can rock on. If the way that I live or the decisions that I make bothers you, then I am all for you going to go get another partner. Or I'm all for you, go find your happiness.
Right.
We all have the right to do whatever it is we want in this world, especially in
Absolutely.
America. Like, you know what I mean? And it just worked best that way for me. I'm real big on people doing whatever makes them happy, how it makes them happy, and whoever makes them happy with. And I just like the same gratitude or the same, you could say, way of living given to me from someone.
Absolutely. And like you said, it works both ways.
Yes.
And I feel like if both people are genuinely happy, then it makes it all the best.
Yeah, especially if it's someone that loves you, because most people, I watch honesty tear great relationships apart.
110%.
Literally just by not saying, I'm into this, I want to do this. Are you with this? No. Can we talk about this?
Right.
Can I let you know why I feel these ways? Can I let you know why I think this type of situation is best for our situation? Now, that takes your partner to be extremely open-minded for you to continue to talk about that.
Right.
But if I tell you that I'm into this, or I like to do like this, or I move like that, and you say, you what? I'm not going to finish talking to you.
Yeah.
Like,
But it's all about, I feel like when it comes to stuff like that, whether it's relationships, polygamy, different interests, it's a conversation that should be, like you said, presented up front, and even if it wasn't presented up front, let's say it comes later on down the line in the relationship.
Right.
If it's presented and there's a choice given, or there's people that aren't genuinely honest when it comes to that, or they don't want to hurt the other person's feelings.
Right.
So
because it's a such thing as that. Like, you
It's a
love someone
sensitive
so
topic,
much
yeah.
that you don't want to hurt them. Like,
Right.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, and I totally get that too. I get, like, because you don't want to hurt people, but me personally, this works for me. I'd rather hurt you from you knowing than
Right.
hurt you from you not know. That
Right.
I sleep well like
Right.
that. You know what I mean?
Right. And it's that goes to show more so of your character, you know, because there's situations where, like, let's say for example, men cheat or women cheat, and then it's like you don't understand what the issue is because someone's not being upfront or honest about the situation.
Right.
So it's like you've mastered the craft of approach, of like of coming up to someone or approaching the situation based off of how they are as a person, how they're going to accept whatever you're telling them, or problem wise, solution wise,
Right.
and you've understood how people, I guess, react or might take certain things.
Right.
You know, and not everybody has that trait or that craft of being able to listen and seeing how to approach a situation to make that person understand, to work in your favor. And I feel like that's a trait. That's a trait that you possess that not everyone in this world possesses, because there's relationships, for example, right? That, let's just say one person cheats, and then if they're like, okay, well, let's just make this so it's an open relationship, and how does that person accept that when it's like you just cheated and lied? You know, like how are you supposed to be like, oh well, you just cheated, so how am I supposed to accept
that
this?
part is over
like,
now.
yeah, like you just lied. So it wasn't that initial like honesty state of things. And even if it comes like, okay, let's say a couple has a situation where they're going at each other, and let's say instead of being like, hey, I want to explore someone else, they cheat, or they might not necessarily say, hey, let's try something new, or let's
that's
that
not
communication
going about it in the proper way.
Right.
That's what you're saying.
Right.
Okay.
Which
Gotcha.
which leads to arguments, which leads to divorce, which leads to fights.
Right.
And how have you mastered that craft of, I guess, communication to communicate with all different walks of people, male, female, fighter, non-fighter, children, or not, to where you understand them and how they're going to react to whatever you present to them?
I think it's because I know everyone comes with their you can say. So I look at it like I believe in love. I believe in genuine love. And I know that I could love unconditionally anyone that's just keeping it 100 with me.
Right.
Because, like I said, I'm from the streets of North Philadelphia. Me personally, let's get back to the aspect of a man and woman relationship. Depending on the way something is done to me, depending on how I'm going to react to it.
Right.
And I'm knowing how I am and how I have lived in this world and my imperfections and everything. If someone do something to me and it has to do with, you know, my woman, she slept with this guy, or she was talking to this guy, or did this, depending on how it was done, depending on how it was, I will react to it. Because I look at it like me loving all walks of life, and me getting a kick out of everyone, you could say trials and tribulations, happy times or whatever, and just knowing people go through their ups and downs, that right there helps me to understand that I'm not in this fight alone.
Right.
Yeah, me and this person may not be cool, or we may not be tight, but the fact of I know that they're going through a struggle that I may be going through in my own relationship or anything, it just lets me know that, you know, I may be overthinking this. You know, this person right here is going through the same thing, and look how they're handling it. And over time, it's built a character for me to be extremely non-judgmental. I look at everybody like we all are going through our trials and tribulations, as far as a relationship, as far as boxing, as far as everything you do, sis, all your titles, mom, producer, director, Brooke, everything that comes with that. It's trials and tribulations that come with all of that. I'm not independent, I'm interdependent, because as much of a lone wolf as I am, we all need each other. Like,
Absolutely.
you know what I mean? So the fact that you can have someone that believe in you, don't judge you, accept you for your imperfections, that right there is good enough to, like, you know, I can't communicate with someone that's willing to accept me for everything I am and everything that I believe in, then I really deserve to, like, die alone. If that's the case, then, like, you know, I just view it like that. Everybody is not big on their own comfortability the way that I am. You know, I sleep good with certain things. You know, I'll mess up in a lot of areas in my life, but there's certain things that I must have straight to sleep good about, and that's the way that I go about my belief in love, my belief in relationships, my belief in liberation, my belief in, you know, you could say anything that come with any of those titles. I think that my love for all of those things helped me communicate very well about the things that I want and the things that I don't want.
Right.
Because I refuse to be uncomfortable just because I'm being dishonest. I'm too much of a man, in my opinion, my very strong opinion, to be uncomfortable just because I can't tell you, yo, I want to do this. I'm being very respectful. I'm letting you know I want to do this. I know you probably not going to agree with it, but I want to let you know. I want to let you know, really, because I want you forever.
Right.
You get what I'm trying to say? It's like the increments and the honesty in that, it just have to be understood by both parties.
Well,
like,
it's almost like having the conversation before the situation happens, to where the conversation is going to come up anyways, because it's going to be something that's known and it comes to the light
yes,
anyways.
Yes.
So it's like you're facing that confrontation just prior to the action, instead of the action coming before the confrontation.
Yes. And you want to know something? I was telling my son, and I told him this in front of his girlfriend too the other day. I said, son, you know what's courage? Courage is when your girlfriend don't call you, you don't call her, and y'all mad at each other, and you're playing a game, and you say, you know what? Hey, baby, can we talk? I want to make it right. That's courage.
Right.
I said, you've been with the same young lady that you've been with since you've been in middle school. You're in high school now, about to graduate, and y'all going into college together. That's courage.
Right.
I said, I'm telling you the things that's really, you could say, commendable from real men like myself, that we look up to, and that's the real gangster stuff right there. Like, anybody, in my opinion, could do like the opposite of those things, including myself. I haven't made the best decisions. Like, you know what I mean? I'm a student, not just in boxing still, but just in life. I'm still trying to catch up with this thing. So, but what I am doing is, the person that represents me, and I have my last name that I brought into the world with his mother, Malik Scott Jr., I'm making sure everything that I did as a default, he doesn't go down those paths at all.
Absolutely.
He gonna have other mistakes that he make, not the mistakes that I've made before him.
And that's why we do it at the end of the day.
Absolutely, sis. Yes.
So for everyone that comes on, we play this game called Pick Your Poison. It's a game of would you rather, so people can get to know you outside of who you are on social media and all that good stuff.
It's called Pick Your Poison.
Pick Your Poison.
Okay.
Very toxic rules of the game. You have to answer.
Okay.
You can explain your answer and justify why you answered the way that you did.
Gotcha.
But you can't remix the answer.
Well, I know exactly what that means.
Okay.
That irritates me when they remix it.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to play with you so you're not in the hot seat by yourself. Would you rather get walked in on every time you go to the bathroom, or be unable to pee without looking into someone's eyes?
Would I be able to walk in the room? Say it again.
Would you rather get walked in on every time you go to the bathroom, or be unable to pee without looking into someone else's eyes?
Be unable to pee without looking into someone's eyes. Yeah, I have no issues with that at all.
Yeah, the bathroom. My only thing with the bathroom is, like, if I'm using the bathroom like number 2.
Yeah.
And Deontay wants to have a conversation with me, I'm like, this is my personal time. Like, peeing, I could pee in front of you all day, but it's just like when I'm going to the bathroom, like, I don't want to talk.
I can see you not going
I'm like,
for
this is
it,
my
too.
personal. Like, come on now.
I got you, fam.
Okay, it's on you.
Okay. So to these cards, I basically read your options.
Yes.
Okay. All right, sis. So would you rather have sex with a sheep or swim in a pool of warm urine?
I feel like we swim in pools of warm urine all the time anyways, and we just don't know that people are pissing in the pool.
Big facts.
So I'm doing the pool in the urine.
I ain't mad at you. Yeah.
All right,
Okay.
so mine is, would you rather...
These questions is crazy.
poop 100 gallons of Heinz ketchup. 100 gallons, that's a lot.
That's
or
tons.
attend a local yoga class and get naked halfway through.
Oh, that right there. Attend
the yoga class?
Yeah, I'm slight new to this anyway. Attend the yoga class, yes. Are you ready?
Uh-huh.
Have genitals that whistle like a teapot when you're aroused, or drink a diarrhea milkshake.
Oh. Okay, so have genitals.
Drink a diarrhea milkshake. Have genitals that whistle like a teapot when you're aroused.
So you just whistling while you working, right? That's what it is. You just whistling while you working. I guess that I'll do the whistle.
Right, because you ain't drinking no diarrhea
At least we can make it be a nice whistle. I don't know.
Yeah, sis.
It'll make it be music.
Absolutely. You can make a rhythm with that.
Yeah. Okay. So, would you rather Experience the pain of childbirth every time you poo, or have undeniably ugly offspring?
Oh, you said undeniably. No, I'm going with the other one.
Experience the pain of childbirth every time you
Absolutely.
poo.
Yes. I use this. Oh, this one's easy. I already know what you're going. You ready?
Uh-huh.
Use a cell phone case shaped like a penis, or scream racial obscenities every time you eat something that tastes good.
Oh, I eat too much. I'll do the
You swear you eat? You really
I
eat a
eat
lot
a
to you.
lot. What? I eat more than Deontay.
Big facts.
Yeah, like I eat a lot. I'm doing the
You
penis
using the cell
phone.
phone, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
like that's
nothing
easy.
to you. Yeah.
Yeah, easy. All right, last question.
Good.
Drink a cup of your father's semen,
Fact.
or never have better sex than you did when you lost your virginity.
I just never have better sex than I did when I lost my virginity. My virginity sex wasn't that good anyway, so.
But you're never having better sex than when you lost your virginity. So the sex is going to be worse than the first time.
I can make up for that. I can find my wins in that. I'll go with that.
He's like, I'm not drinking the semen. Tell everybody what you have coming up
Yeah.
and all that good stuff, where they can find you.
Okay, we got Deontay Wilder right now. He's back. A big announcement is going to be made soon. I have also a heavyweight Joe Washington. Another big announcement is about to be made soon. We're looking at good opponents. I have igotboxing.com where you could buy my merch at. Malik King Scott is my Instagram. Malik King Scott is my Twitter. Telli Swift is my sister. Deontay Wilder is my fighter and my brother. KK is my God family. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Thanks for everybody for tuning in. And, yeah, we had a good time, right, sis?
Absolutely.
It was good.
I love you, and thank you
Love
for
you,
coming
baby.
on. And that is
Absolutely.
it for Telly Talks.
Yeah.